Southern Illinoisan's Pigskin Picks. We're going to talk about Week 5 here. I'm Scott Meese alongside Pete Spitler and Les Winkler. Fellas, what do you think about the football in Southern Illinois here through 4 weeks? I think it's
unpredictable.
it really is. I mean, a lot of these, usually when conference season starts, it gets easier. Everybody pretty much has the same picks, but this year, probably about 75% of the teams can beat each other.
Yeah, there's nobody stepped forward to grab hold of anything, and it's just it just seems like every game you have to sit there and really you just don't automatically pick somebody. You really have to give it some thought and try to figure out what's going on, and for some of us, it's been more successful than others.
And there's been some hair-pulling tough picks this season.
Let's get right into it. Murfreesboro, they've won 2 in a row. They're 2-2. Heron also 2 in a row. Murphy travels to Heron. What do you think about this one, Wes?
I don't know. I'm going to go with Heron. It's just
quick and simple. Quick and simple.
I don't. There's no hard, fast reason. Heron's at home. I'm going with Heron.
And Heron was the preseason conference pick because they do have a lot of experience and talent coming back, and I think with them being at home and being able to effectively really kind of deal the coin quite a blow on the road, I got to go with Heron on this one.
Yeah, I'll go with Heron. They're bigger school, power running game, and overall I think the Ohio division is definitely very mediocre this year. There's nobody that really stands out. Maybe Heron could be that team, but overall, I don't think Murphy's got the horses to pull this off on the road. Second game, undefeated Carterville at undefeated Anna Jonesboro. They're both 4-0, both scoring a lot of points. Well, what do you think, Les?
I'm going to go with Carterville on this. I'm still impressed with their victory over St. Joe Ogden a couple weeks ago. They seem to be the one team maybe that has the chance to step up. This is going to be an excellent test for them. AJ's Brett Dietering always puts together a good team down there. They're playing well this year, but I just think the combination of Carterville's speed and depth, I think, is going to be the difference.
And this honestly is probably the most intriguing game of this week for me because you got two teams that run kind of similar stuff, kind of built along the same lines. I believe they go to the same football camps during the summer, but I just feel that Carterville's got too many weapons, too much depth to overcome, so I'm going to choose Carterville.
Carterville's biggest weakness is pass defense. One of AJ's biggest strengths is passing the ball. They're going to throw it a lot and score a lot of points. Carterville probably still come out on top. I don't know that AJ can stop their offense. Carmi Fairfield, Carmi 2-2, Fairfield 4-0, of course with the Black Diamond. Depends on who you played, really. Carmi's already played Chester, had them beat in the fourth quarter and lost. Played El Dorado fairly tough. Fairfield 4-0. What do you think, Les?
I think I'm going to go with Fairfield. I've seen Carmi play. Carmi's not a bad team. They've got a number of weapons. Chase Saylor is always a dangerous commodity. This is the season that Fairfield's been looking for a couple of years. It's at home at the train yard. It's a unique experience playing there. You can set your watch by the trains that come by 10 or 12 times during the game, but I'm just going to go with the Mules.
I'm going to go with Carmine this one. I mean, Chase Saylor is obviously probably one of the most versatile weapons in the Black Diamond Conference. And I know they played some tough teams, and honestly, I just don't know enough about Fairfield. I mean, look at Black Diamond with all the travel that's involved with it. I mean, how much do we really know about Fairfield? So I'm going to go with teams that I've kind of seen before on film. I'm going to go with Carmine this one. So
I'll take Carmi, which means they're obviously going to lose. It seems like them and Cahokia, when I pick them, they always end up losing. I think, Saylor's due for a big game, and a game that he plays the whole game without getting hurt for a change, so I'm going to pick the Bulldogs. South 7 play, Cahokia is 1-3 at Carbondale 3-1. Cahokia is not too bad from what I hear. They play a really tough schedule so far, but I don't know. Carbondale's got a pretty good offense. What do you think, Les?
I saw Cahokia play against Marion last week, and Cahokia scored on big plays. They weren't able to. They had one drive the whole game. Everything else, they got a turnover deep in Marion territory, turned it into a touchdown on an interception. They forced a block punt. Well, it wasn't really a block punt. The Marion just had to eat the ball, and it was only at the Marion 24-yard line. They got a 24-yard touchdown on the next play. They just weren't able to sustain anything. I do like their speed. They're not real big, but I think at Carbondale it's just going to be hard for Cahokia to overcome Carbondale.
And Carbondale, you got to talk about that offense. I mean, going back to last week, I mean, Carbondale compiled nearly 570 yards of total offense and lost. So I imagine Carbondale's probably going to be a bit angry this week. I got to go with the Terriers.
Yeah, I'm going to take Carbondale. Too many weapons, I think, for them, and they're probably a little bit hot after that. They should have won that Centralia game. Few things that were questionable. Shamark Bursey tied a state record with 20 catches for 200 and something yards, so that was really impressive. I think Carbondale by a couple of touchdowns. Final game, Marion at Mount Vernon. The Rams have won 3 in a row. They're 3-1 after 0-9 season last year. Marion, a really difficult team to predict this year. What do you think, Les?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, Marion, the first half, dominated Cahokia last week. They just ran the ball anywhere they wanted to. They did whatever they want. They completely shut down the Cahokia attack, and then the second half it just looked like a different football team. I've picked Marion in this game. I think.
But you're not comfortable.
I'm not comfortable with it, but they were good enough to beat Cahokia last week, but didn't do it, and that's the source of my discomfort. But I'm still sticking with Marion, and maybe I'll have to reevaluate what I think about them after this week if Mount Vernon wins.
I'm going to pick Mount Vernon on this one. I mean, obviously, opening up the season with Rochester is not an easy thing, but obviously it was a great teaching point because they've won every game since then, and I know Jared Shaner really likes that power running game over there. And with Mount Vernon being at home and an opportunity to kind of really take the first step toward getting back to the playoffs the first time since 2008, so I got to go with Mount Vernon on this one.
I'm going to go with Marion just for the heck of it. If Mount Vernon wins this, they're really going to have some kind of a season going. I mean, they're going to make the playoffs. Just very difficult with Marion. They've had some bad first halves, played some great second halves. Difficult to predict, but I'm going to say the Wildcats get this one on the road. Final thoughts, gentlemen?
Can you believe the season's almost pretty much halfway over?
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, we're going to be almost more than halfway home to the playoffs, and the picture here is still murky. There's a lot of things that could happen. A lot of teams still in playoff contention, which at this time of year that's not always the case. It is going to be interesting to see how it shakes out. I don't foresee a lot of deep runs into the playoffs from Southern Illinois, but like always, we're going to have 12, 13 teams that get in, and once you're in, who knows what can happen.
I think the next 2 weeks are probably going to be really, really interesting to see, like you mentioned, what kind of happens out of these weeks to come.
All right, that about wraps it up. Thanks for watching, and join us next week for Week 6 picks.